So we'll go back to our Google Earth Pro. Remember that once you return, you have to click on the left click on any area of the satellite here. So I left click, then I'll move downward with the arrows on my keyboard so that we will have the high accuracy. So you could see that I have a point here and a point here, so I'm being careful of those points. I will make sure that my screen goes up steadily with the point not disappearing from my viewpoint. So I'll now come to view and ensure that my image has not been tampered with. You can see that the image is straight. So what do we do next? We'll add now 2 extra points, one below here and one below here. So I'll go to add place mark, I remove the text, bring it here, and then reposition it down to this place, and I click on OK. Then I add the second point, take it out, take the text out, repeat it here. Now I will now leave it at this portion. Now whenever you're saving the point, ensure that it aligns somewhat this way. So let me take it inwardly a little bit here. Now I believe that is okay. Excuse me. Then I hit on OK. Now I have 4 points for the image C. Then I'll hit on save, and I'll label this as C, and I'll hit on save as well. So I'll just pause this so that our time will be saved. I've already shown us how to do that, so let's pause. Okay, welcome back. So we have our image saved, so there's no need to be coming in and out, but I just, for the sake of the video, so that we can actually understand what I'm doing. So let me open this image. So this is our part C of the image. Okay, so let me go back to Google Earth Pro. Now let's check our window and see if we're on track. I check my window. You can see that we're actually on track, although we are outside the image, which is to our advantage. So I'll click this. I can just allow this. I'll click inwards here. Then I'll now use the arrow move to my left this time around, taking note of these 2 points. Now it's no longer going to be 2 points but 3 points. So let's go gradually. Okay, now we're going gradually. Let's see. Now there are technicalities to this due to the fact that excuse me, due to the fact that the world is actually a sphere, you know. So once there are times that the image tries to get distorted, it aligns with the actual 3D shape of the world that it is. So now we're supposed to have 3 points. You get I'm supposed to have this point here, this point downward here, and then another point up here. So we are not having that now. So let's try to check up by taking the up arrow once and see. I've clicked this once, I click this twice. Okay, and I'm not seeing that. I think that should be the 4th point. Let me click here. 1 2 3 4. Okay, I can now see it. It's almost the window. This window prevented it. Look at it here. So it means I remember I took 4 steps, so I'll take 3 steps. 1. Okay, I'll come here, click here, and go backwardly. 1 and 2. I think it's 2 I did. So now let's see point 4. Our point 4, is it on the screen? I can't see it, so I'll have to go left a little bit, click in here, go left, and let me check. Do we have point 4? Let me use this window. It's actually hidden. I think we left it upward. Let's go up a little bit. Just be patient with the setup, because this is actually the most important thing to do. Okay, so I can see the point is here, this is the point here, and the point here, but we are now lacking that is below here. So we carefully search for those points to ensure that they are all on the screen. So that is gone, it's up. Okay, I can now see it. This is the point here. So we're having a challenge of not having the 3 points on our screen. Okay, so I've managed to you have to find a way to do that. The last point for the 4 images, it has to have these 3 points, the 3 reference point, which is point 1, point 2, point 3. So all we need to add for the last point is actually but a point. Okay, so I'm going to make an illustration to explain what we're doing. Okay, so I'll check this out and then get this and bring it to this point. Anywhere here, I'll hit on enter. Then I'll have to update my library for the reference point. I'll say save place as. Then it will ask me if I take it to desktop, and it asks me will I like to overwrite. Yes, I like to override it so that it update my recent data. After doing that, and then let's check our view for tilt and compass. It's upright. Then I can hit on save on maximum resolution, go to mosaic text and now make it point D. So I'll hit on save. Okay, so once this is running at the background, I would like to illustrate to us what I'm actually doing with this reference point. So let me run my Microsoft Point open before we go into ArcGIS or ArcMap. Okay, guys, so this is what I'm doing. I'm actually taking time to make this video so that you can actually have the understanding. This is the theoretical logic behind what we're doing. Now we've managed to let me click this right. Okay, we have image A. This is what we're doing. I'll call this image A. Then we have another image which is image B. Okay, let me do that very well. Let's have image B. Let's call this image B. Then we have another image. Let's call this image C. This image C. And lastly, the last image, which is image D. Call this image, don't mind the drawing, just the illustrations, D. Now yes, let's use the color here. Let's use this pen and give it a green color. Now what we did is this. We have point 1. Oh, this is not good for us. Let's use this pen and just select the green. So we have point 1. It's not legible. Okay, we have the first point, then the second point we took, then let me zoom in, then the third point and the fourth point. Then what we did was that for this first image we have 4 reference points. Now at this point here, the image A and B shares this reference point at this point and at this point. Then I added 2 extra here for point B, for image B, and I added 1, 2 for image C. So at this point, image C, B and A shares this reference point, including D. Then the last one was the one I added for image D here. So the increment I have for this for image B was image A had 4 reference points. Image B will have 2 extra reference points. Image C will have 2 extra reference points, while image D will have only 1 extra reference point, because it shares the reference point in image C, image B, AC, and image A. So that's the logic. That's the theoretical logic behind this. So the more images you have, the more you play along with your reference point. I hope this have made what I'm trying to explain clear. So this is the binding factor to our satellite images, the reference point. So the larger your study area utilizing this process, the more complex your reference point and your imagery naming will be. So supposing you have a larger area study where you have ABC and you've exhausted it to XYZ, what you need to do, you can start with AZ, BZ, CZ, DZ. That's where you take the reading. And you can have as much as possible. We could continue to have much more images. Just for illustration's sake, you could have continuously like this. You could continuously have images. So all you need to do is to make sure that you tie them down to the correct reference.